Hey.
Oh my gosh. I was not expecting for it to work, but it worked.
Finally.
Here we are.
15 minutes later.
I tried everything. I don't know what was going on. Like my computer is on the Wi-Fi and it's down. So it's like kind of glitching back and forth. And then my phone was just telling me that I needed to download something. So I don't know. But yeah, so let's go ahead. Let's jump in. Y'all, I'm about as a scatterbrain as Morgan is. So if y'all are commenting, I'm going to have to get at the end, or y'all are going to have a completely just jacked up just lesson. So yeah. Last month, I think I'm like the prime example of somebody that I just didn't have it together. Like literally, so Crystal asked about speaking about SFR, sorry. And I think it was good for me. I really do. So I'm not going to be one that gets to go on a ton of trips until my son is older. It's not going to work for us. I'm going to get to be at the ones that are more local, the get-togethers in Huntsville, the get-togethers in Knoxville, somewhere where I can easily drive back home should something happen. That's just me. I'm going to get over it. I'm okay. I'm still going to earn every incentive that I can, because even if I don't go on a trip, that could be extra income. Like that could be, you know, extra money. So, I mean, why would you not aim for that if you can't go on the trips? Aim for the incentives regardless. The majority of our incentives revolves around teamies. It does. You've got to bring the teamies in. You've got to sponsor them. You've got to recruit them. You've got to train them. You just can't bring them on and expect to do nothing. I mean, it's part of our title. If you, like Morgan said, if you don't want to recruit, fill out the little form that Cincy has, and don't even watch no more of this video. It's pointless. And I hate to say pointless because that sounds rude, but I mean, at the end of the day, don't waste your time watching this video when you could be watching about how to bring in income, because you're not ready to sponsor yet. And that's okay. We still love you. You do not have to sponsor to be part of Cincy. You don't. I don't want anybody to ever get that vibe that that's what we're about, because we're not. We love you if you want to sell $100 a month, and we love you if you want to recruit 10 people a month. We don't care. So last month I started off, and literally before SFR, I messaged Morgan, or she messaged me about something, or I messaged her, and it led into, this month's going to be a crap month. Like this month is going to be horrible. And we just started chatting, and I'm going to say a big light bulb went off, because for a while I haven't talked to Morgan. You know, she's got almost 2,000 teamies. I have, you know, around 100 of my own. She's juggling this, I'm juggling that, and I forget to touch back with my sponsor. Who knows best about the struggle that you're in than your sponsor? Morgan hasn't always had 2,000 teamies, or close to 2,000. She had those 100 that I had. She had that 25 that you have. She had that 5 that you have right now. Reach back to your sponsor. We know what you're going through. We will give you that pep talk, that pat on the back, because your husband don't understand. He loves you, but he don't. Your mother-in-law, your whoever your people are, they don't understand what you're going through unless they've been there themselves. And I can guarantee you they have. So anyways, we had our conversation, and I got the confidence up. I went to the Cincy family reunion. I talked to Whitney. I talked to Inslee. I talked to a couple others. They kind of gave me a pep talk. You know, never downgrading me, making me feel like, oh, you're not doing what you should be, so blah, 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 blah. No, it was like, you know, this is what I'm doing. You know, you can give it a try if you want to. And I did. I took it home, and I did a lot of things. Y'all, I ended up getting 3 new teamies last month. It's been months since I had more than 1 teamie. I ended up selling nearly close to the highest I've ever sold. So that's incredible. I think it was like $100 and something away. And mind you, this was supposed to be a crap month. And it was one of my best months ever. All because I literally went back and touched base with my sponsor. And we talked, and going to Cincy family reunion and getting that sense of, all these other women in this room can do this. Well, surely to God, I can do it. You know, building that relationship with me and Christy Brockman, you know, going to Knoxville and being there, and, you know, brainstorming so much together. Like, we learned so much as a team there, you know, and then going out to eat and having a good time. Yeah, like Heather said, it's really good to get to network with other consultants, because you can brainstorm and you can just learn so much. But I was able to, and persistence. And one of the things that went through my mind was Morgan has said before, you know, when you are at one of your hardest points, you're about to get a breakthrough. That's not her exact words, but pretty close to that. And I thought, God, this is such a hard month. Everything keeps hitting me. You know, there's things with my family going on left and right. And, you know, I can't juggle it all. But I was like, you're about to hit a breakthrough. You're about to hit a breakthrough. Like, just keep pushing. So that's what I did. I made sure that every party that I flipped, or every party that I had, I talked to them about joining. If they didn't want to join, that was cool. If they did want to join, let's chat more. I did not stop to think about getting those extra washer whiffs when I had product credit. That product credit was going to be flipped to somebody. Somebody was getting a free kit. And y'all, I gave my free kit away. It took a few days. The girl I gave it to, legit rock star. She hasn't even met her 2 weeks and she was already certified. So kudos to her. Like, yeah, that was an incredible, you know, giving that away. And she's now doing stuff that she didn't know she could do. Like, she's blown away. She's excited. I'm excited for her. It's the best feeling ever. It's like when you recruit somebody, if you haven't just yet, it's like watching your little baby walk for the first time. You know, those feelings you get, you're so excited and you're like, oh my gosh, they're doing it. And they're telling you, hey, I hit this goal. Hey, I hit that. And you're like, you totally are doing this. This is you. It's exciting. So my first tip is going to be parties. Flip those parties. And don't just tell them, hey, you can join Scentsy for free. No. I'll be like, hey, did you realize that right now, if you wanted to join, you can get $100 payday, because if they're at $500 that they've sold, that's $100 payday. You get a shooting star, which comes with an adorable bracelet. You're going to get awesome recognition, and you're still going to get some free stuff and 3 half-off items. Who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want that? That sounds so much better than just saying you can join for free, or you can join. You can't say free publicly, but you can join at no cost. Like, y'all, and they get that awesome starter kit. So you have to tell them they do not know. And I feel like, honestly, every time I've ever put it out like that, 90% of the people joined. 90% of them, because I literally broke it down. When I stopped doing that these past several months, I haven't recruited hardly anybody. Lesson learned. They got to know. Share your story, like Morgan said. Y'all, people know me. People are my friends. They're my neighbors. They're your friends. They're your neighbors. They know you. They know when you're shooting the boo-boo and when you're telling it straight, you know. So tell it to them straight. I used my Scentsy card to buy blah, 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 blah. It's scary because, you know, there's a compliance thing. Just put your income disclosure in there. That's all you have to do, is put an income disclosure in there. And you can tell them, I paid my house payment. I paid my car payment. I have a couple girls on my team that every month they're paying their car payment. Like, Scentsy is buying them a car. Like, that's impressive. Who wouldn't want to join something that is literally buying you a car, taking your kids on a trip? Brittany Suggs took her kids on a trip. Like, that's incredible. And she's been with us for about a year now. I mean, it's awesome. People want to see your journey. They want to see where you're going. They need to see, because there's so many consultants out there that will sit and bash a company because they didn't do well. So they've got Karen's story over here and Susan's, and they're just feeding them tons of boo-boo, and it's not true. It's not the real thing. If you get fired from a dental office, for some reason you hate them, it wasn't their fault that you weren't cleaning instruments properly or that you weren't doing whatever. It's your fault. So it's our job for every negative opinion out there to share ours. Like, that's our beauty right here, that we get that. I've had consultants say, well, I've heard, or not consultants, friends say, well, I've heard blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, you get what you work for. If they never showed up to work and they spent all their money on Scentsy, then yeah, maybe they do have a negative taste. That was their fault. I've heard it more than one time. Never spend family money on Scentsy. Y'all, I mean, we have to make sure that we are sharing our stories. People need to hear this. They have to. This is our mission, to share our journey. Like, we need to be doing this. So anyways, that is that. Y'all share your journey, share your story. Y'all know there's, for every person sharing it, there's somebody sharing a bad story. So make sure yours is heard louder. Keep sharing it. include them income disclosures. And maybe it's not about money. Maybe somebody wants to join because of, I have nurse practitioner on my team. She joined simply to get some discounts in the community. That was what she wanted. And that's okay. Some people want that community. They want that friendship. They want that love. They want all that goodness. Figure out what your hostess is wanting. Figure out what your friend is wanting, what they need that Cincy can give them. Because like Morgan said, it's not about your payday. When you stop worrying about your own paycheck, you're going to see that you're recruiting like crazy. When you start throwing them conversations out more and you stop caring about your own title and you stop looking at, oh, well, gosh, I lost 5 people this month. Who cares? Talk to 10 more people. You lost the 5 people that didn't want to work their business. That's okay. It's not for everybody. Some people may come in and decide this ain't for them. That's cool. There's other people that will decide it is for them. So anyways, let's see. Let's see. Did that, talked about that. I did write some notes. I took a couple of minutes. You cannot recruit if you're not bringing up the conversation. I'm sorry. I tried it for a while. You know, I was a rock star. Like I got annual mentor award last year, which means you sponsored 14 people or more and you got them to certify.
Can I stop you and say, y'all, that's a huge freaking deal. Like, that is the hardest award in this company to earn. So I'm just going to say that. She acts like it's not, I earned annual mentor. No, that's like a huge deal. Usually about 60 people out of 300,000 consultants earn that. Go ahead.
But yeah, so I earned that, and y'all, that pays you too. Like, I got a beautiful award, but it also gave me an extra bit of money that I could put on my family, which was awesome because, it's sometimes my husband's a contractor and every week it's not the same pay. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. So when I can throw a little extra in, I feel like, yay, I don't have to feel guilty for going and buying something, Not that he makes me feel that way, but when you're a stay-at-home mom and you're working on one income, you do feel that way, no matter how they make you feel. So yeah, you got to bring up the recruiting conversations. You have to. You can't just expect somebody's going to come to you and say, hey, I want to join your team. And when they do, you're so excited. Be excited, because that is abnormal. Doesn't happen. God was looking out for you on that one. Yeah, so be super thankful. Do not expect for that to happen often. What you should expect is to ask all the time. Ask all the time. Ask, and don't, I feel like sometimes it's kind of confusing because, I'm a reinstatement too. So my first go around, I hounded my friends to death. I was like, hey, you need to join. Hey, you need to buy. Hey, you need to, this same circle right here. I didn't ask for parties. Parties is what you really want to ask for too. I never asked for parties. So I was asking the same circle of people. You want to grow that circle bigger and bigger. So therefore, you're not always asking your neighbor. You're asking other people too. Ask all the time, but ask everyone. Ask everyone around you. Ask, people at the gym. Ask. So anytime you see like a flag to talk about it, ask about it. If you feel like someone's complaining because they don't have money to put in their gas tank, let's talk about it. Find an appropriate time to talk about it. If they post about their gas, please don't just go in there and say, hey, let's join Cincy. Talk to them in a more delicate way. You know how to do it. Y'all, everybody can recruit. We all started as an essential consultant, and you have made it to, maybe you haven't made it to lead yet, but there are people that did start off as an essential consultant and work their way up. Morgan wasn't born a superstar director. I wasn't born a director. It takes time. It takes mistakes. It takes word vomiting. It takes word vomiting. And you grow with that. That's okay. Like when you mess up and you feel like you've completely demolished it, talk to your sponsor, because we've done it too. I promise you. Expect to hear no's, like I said, all the time. It's not no forever. Like no one's like, no. It's no, not right now. No, it's not going to work today. It may work next year. It may work next month. It may work tomorrow. I had a lady tell me that she didn't want to join, and then she messages me a day later and she wants to talk about joining. I'm like, what? Where'd this come from? But we talked about it. She still doesn't want to join, but I planted the seed again. Let's see. When you get a new teamie, y'all, show them the way. I've had my moments where I failed as a leader. I'm learning, I'm growing. It's just part of it. But I try my best to show them the way, to show them that every month I'm aiming to hit 2,000 PRV. Every single month I'm aiming. Every month I'm aiming to be at the top of my list because I'm their director. I should be aiming to be at the top of the list. Do I get excited when somebody beats me? Yes, I'm like, I got to catch up to her now. Like, it becomes a competition, a friendly one, but a competition because I want to be where you're at and I need to be at the top of that list. So leaders, lead from the front. Like I'm telling y'all, you cannot expect your teams to carry all the weight. You can't. They're newbies. That's not how it's supposed to go. If your teamie comes out and she's doing 2,500 PRV in the first month, good for her. Now you've got competition. Now let's see what you can do. You don't have to hit her 2,500 and she may not do that next month, but it's our job to show our teamies the way. Lead by example. You get nothing out of growing a team, nothing if you're not hitting your minimums. You could grow 10 people this month, and if you're not hitting your 500 PRV, which you should be, you got nothing out of growing a team. There's baskets, there's buckets, there's always a way to get that extra PRV. And I'm just now learning that myself because I've had months where I could have done a basket or a bucket or something like that and got to where I needed to be, but I simply didn't know that was the way. If you're just a couple $100 from hitting pay that title or promoting, my best recommendation is you start asking people how you can get that extra PRV, because one of us has done the same thing and we were in a bind and we needed it and we did it. Don't let a month go by where you're sitting $75 away from getting paid at title, because when you add it up, that $75 that you are away from being paid at title, if you spent the whole night doing follow-ups or you did something, that $75 could turn into so much more. Just by not being paid at title, you're losing a lot of money. Which, like, I know it's not all about the money, but at the end of the day, we're not doing this for free. So, you know, being paid at title is important. Also, something else I've learned, if you're not being paid at title, you're not going to be on the consultant locator. So say somebody down the road from you wants to order from a consultant. If you're not paid at title or you have not promoted here recently, like within, is it 3 months, a month? I can't remember the time frame. I think it's like if you haven't promoted or if you haven't been paid at title for the last month, you're not going to be on that locator. So you're missing out on sales by not being paid at title. Huge. huge to be leader above. Yeah, and it's leader. So you want to strive to be bringing in new teamies. And the reason why this is, since he wants the best of the best, you know, when somebody's a new new customer and they're looking for a consultant, since he wants to make sure that they're getting the best consultant. So they want someone that's leader above, getting paid at title, or promoting each month to be who's selected for a new customer, which I think is fabulous. Like I do. And that may be your forever customer. That may be your new teamie. That may be your new teamie. You don't even know. So get paid at title, hit lead, and it's okay to struggle. Totally cool. If you struggle, like I said, reach out to us. Lead by example. If you're not hitting minimums, if you're not hitting your minimums, like I said, you need to start. You need to change it up, start hitting the minimums at least. They're minimums for a reason, because Cincy had to have a bar to set. It's not because that's the best that you can do. That's the very lowest you have to do. Let's see. So you're a leader, y'all know. You should be cheering those new teamies on. If you're not cheering them on, you're missing out on opportunities. That's a time for you to bond with your new teamie, to show them that you have their back, that you are gonna be there for them throughout this whole journey. That is why you need to be shouting those teamies out. So I need to be praising them. If you don't do mail, if you don't do anything else, the least that you should do is be cheering them on publicly. Shout them out on their Facebook, shout them out on yours, shout them out on the team page, shout them out wherever. Remember when you were new and like you got your first shout out, how exciting that was, and you felt awesome and you felt loved and you felt like, yeah, I did it. It's the same thing for them. If it made you feel good, do it for them. Let's see. Shout them out when they're active. Shout them out when they're halfway to shooting star. Shout them out when they're a new teamie. Shout them out when they're certified. Those first moments are so important. You during those moments, you are working on creating strong leaders. Believe it or not, you are.